Good afternoon, groovy citizens, and welcome back to another car conversation, and happy winning Wednesday to each and every one of you. Yes, I'm a little late in the day getting this video started. Had a lot that I needed to get done today, but guess what? That's all done. So now all I have to do is do this, upload it, and move on with the rest of my evening. Now, it's been a very nice day today, and I will say it was a little chilly this morning, but it's 55 degrees right now. And the sun is kind of dialing back a little bit for the evening, of course, but it has been a very nice day today. So thank you, Lord, for nice days. Okay. Now let's jump into today's topic. Today's topic is it's time to win. It's time to win. Now, before I go any deeper into this topic, if my lips look like they are extra greasy, like I've been eating chicken, I actually have not. I ran into the bathroom to grab some Vaseline to put on my lips because I didn't feel like going upstairs to get my lip gloss. So don't judge me because I don't judge you. It is what it is for today. So I love this first quote that I'm going to share with you all. Now, I'm not quite sure who the guy was that was giving the quote, but I love it. And he says, I don't want you to see failure as a disease. Y'all, that's powerful. He says, I want you to see it as a currency. I want you to know that there are lessons that you learn and you gain wisdom in the lesson. You gain a deeper understanding of the power of your future. There are things you will be able to buy in your future with the currency of failure. Come on now, because we said that failure is currency. It's not a disaster. And with the lesson that you have learned. So in essence, I think what he's really trying to say is that, yeah, you may have failed on this end, but into the future, you're going to learn a valuable lesson from that failure that's going to carry you through the rest of your life. It's just like, I'm looking at my neighbor's yard, riding a bike. Do you remember when you learned how to ride a bike? You probably fell off that bike a couple of times. I know I did. And especially after you took the training wheels off. Now with the training wheels on, you were all of that and then some. But once you took those training wheels off, it was a whole different story because now you had to balance yourself on these two wheels as opposed to four. And so it's just like riding a bike. It didn't kill you. It may have scratched you up some, but it didn't kill you, and you learn from it. And so you learn each time you got on that bike, you learn what worked and what didn't work. And so the next time you got on that bike, you could apply what worked so that you could keep doing it. And the stuff that didn't work, you could stop doing it so it wouldn't happen again. Do you understand where I'm going with that one? Yeah, excuse me, because my nose is running and my sinuses are draining as always. Now, this next quote is by Les Brown. And he says, sometimes your life will be in a slump, just like sports. Some of the best shooters can't hit baskets different times in games. And we all have seen some of our favorite athletes not be able to hit that three-pointer, which they can do with their eyes closed, but sometimes you're just off, right? Or kick that field goal, or even score the touchdown, right? So some of the, okay, women, so do they sit on the sideline and say, I just didn't hit a basket today? No, they continue to execute. He says, I suggest to you that if you were facing a challenge, don't stop. Stay busy, work your plan, continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move, stay busy. I love that quote, you guys, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I think a lot of times as we go through life, things don't work out for us. And so we just decide, okay, forget it. I'm not doing anything. I'm done. I'm not going to do anything at all because, I put my everything into whatever that thing was that you were doing, and it just didn't work out. So I'm just done. I'm not going to try it again. And we all have had moments like that. And if you say you haven't, you're telling the tale, because we all have had moments like that where we just said, forget it. I'm giving up. I'm not even going to try anymore. But the reality is that if you stop, you're not going to go anywhere. It's just like right now, I'm sitting what I call Studio A, which is where I do my car conversation. But in actuality, this is my mode of transportation. Now, I have the car on because I was looking at the dashboard. And even though it's 55 degrees, the sun is dialed back, so it's a little on the chilly side. So I did cut my heat on low. But the reality is that if I do not put this car in drive and give it some gas, I'm not going to go anywhere. I could sit here all day long, and I could because I have a full tank of gas, but that's neither here nor there. I could sit here all day long idling. But if I do not put the car in gear and give it some gas, I'm not going to go anywhere. My truck was designed to move. It wasn't designed for me to just sit in front of my house to do videos in. Yes, it serves as that purpose for me, but that's not what it was designed for. It was designed to get me from A to B, or I should say from A to Z and everything in between. So you cannot give up just because, okay, here's a perfect example, an even better one. Let's say I woke up, right? And I wasn't having a great day. For whatever reason, I just wasn't having a great day. And I decide, you know what? I'm not going anywhere today. I'm not doing anything today. Well, that only hurts me. Unless it was something I needed to do for you. In which case, let's say this video. Let's say I decided I wasn't going to do this video. Then I'm depriving those individuals that I know that say, Michelle, I look forward to your motivational videos because you have no idea how much they bless me and how I always seem to receive what I need when I need it. So I am keeping someone else from receiving their blessing, all because I'm not having a great day. Now I can see if I was under the weather and I just wasn't feeling well and I'm not able to do it, then yeah, that's different. But I'm talking about, I just woke up and you know what, I don't feel like it, so I'm not doing it. Well, then guess what? I'm not going to get the video out. But going back to what I was saying prior to that, that's just like, I'm not having a good day. And so I decide that I'm not going to accomplish anything. And now I get to the end of the day and I go, Jesus, you know what? I needed to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and I didn't get anything done. Why? Because I woke up with a funky attitude and I decided I wasn't going to do anything. In essence, who did I really hurt? I hurt me, because now I set myself back a day. So everything that I needed to do on Wednesday, I've now got to transfer it over to Thursday. Well, guess what? Thursday has its own issues and things that I need to do, but I'm not going to be able to get to that because I didn't do Wednesday stuff. So now I've got to move it over to Thursday. So this is what I'm saying. We have to make sure that we are not, we don't just stop. We don't just give up. We have to keep going. You cannot get better at anything if you just stop. You only get better when you continue to push forward and decide to keep going. Period. End of sentence. Next quote by Jim Rohn. No, my next quote, it's unknown. And it says, and as Brian Tracy said, attempt the impossible in order to improve your work. Yeah, that's powerful. Can I say that one more time? Attempt the impossible in order to improve your work. So think about that for a second. Try the things that you know that you're going to fail at. Things that the world is going to tell you that you simply cannot be. But even if it violates the laws of physics, if there's something in that attempt that you're going to learn, you owe it to yourself to have he dropped an F-bomb, I'm not going to do that, moral obligation to try. That's all I'm asking, is just try. Do you know, as I said that, I thought about the first time I got into powerlifting and my coach wanted me to deadlift, I think it was 225. I thought, Jesus Christ, I can't do that. My mind said that, but then quickly I said, no, Michelle, yes, you can. And even if you don't, so what? You're going to try it. And guess what? If you don't get it today, you can try it again next week. And it was a struggle the very first time I went to pick it up. Oh, it was a struggle. But he said, my coach said, take a break, get yourself together. And I came back and I tried it. And finally, I was able to stand up and lock out with the weight. But that's because I did not give up. I knew that I wasn't quite ready for 225, but I learned so much in trying to pick up that 225. I learned a lot about myself. So it profited me to try and pick that weight up, even though I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get it the first time around. So always think of life that way, that when there are things that you want to try and you know you may not succeed at it, try it anyway. Because there's so much that you can learn just from failing at that attempt. And I think a lot of times we only like to try the things, excuse me, whew, I had to sneeze, just won't come out. We only like to try the things that we know we're going to be successful at. And that's all great. You know, I get that. I do. I understand that. But at the end of the day, there are going to be times in life that you are going to have to try those things that you probably will not succeed at, so that you can learn something from it. See, I look at it this way. There's a lesson to be learned in everything that we do. Everything. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. There is a lesson to be learned in everything we do. Always remember that. Next quote is by Jim Rohn this time. He says, take a look back over the last few months. Did you make some mistakes? And I want you to think about that. Did you make some mistakes? I know I certainly did. How could you correct those for the future? Think about that. Take a look back over the last year. Have you done it right or done it wrong? Come on now. Let's correct it for the next year. Well, his quote says, let's correct it for the next year. But what I'm going to suggest to you is, let's take the mistakes from last year and let's correct it for this year. Because see, this year's just starting. I could see if we were further down in the year, then I could say for next year. But because we are just starting this year, I want you to take the mistakes from last year, be it big, small, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. Figure out how to correct them so you can fix them for this year. And learn from your personal experience. Let's make the change. So the topic for today is, it's time to win. And in order to win, you've got to look at the things that you've done, the things that you did well, that you didn't do so well, the things that you wanted to do or needed to do, but you did not do. And you need to figure out how you can win in 2023. Now, I know a lot of you had some wins and some successes in 2022, and I applaud you for that. I really do. It doesn't matter if it was a small win, it was still a win, okay? And it doesn't matter if you only had one win, it was still a win. But I want you to really win and exceed in 2023, and I know you can do it. Now, the question is, do you believe you can do it? See, because I can believe it for you. I believe it. I believe each and every one of you can win. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. So I need you to just take in a deep breath, a deep cleansing breath, blow it out, and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to look at my wins and my losses from 2022, and I'm going to figure out how I can win in 2023. Because what I don't want you all to do is go through this year sitting on the sidelines of life, watching everybody else do whatever it is that they're going to do. I don't want you sitting back watching everybody else winning and you're not. Everybody else being blessed, come on somebody, and you're not. Everybody else walking in their gift and you're not. And there's no reason for you not to do it. You're just afraid to do it. And I get that. But sometimes you've got to do things afraid. How many times have you done something you were afraid, but you did it anyway? Come on now. If you've done it before, you can do it now. This is your year to win. I need you to understand that. Next quote is, every now and then, you got to look in that mirror and say, you know what? My bad, my fault, my mistake. You got to have goals that take you to the brink. You are about to remodel you. You are about to rebuild you, a better version of you. Ain't nothing wrong with you, but we've got to get you better. There's nothing wrong with you, but you've got to improve. I love that. And that quote is by Walter Bond, and I love that because what he's saying is you're fine the way you are. I'm fine the way I am, but we've got to improve. We've got to take things to the next level. I don't know about you all, but every day that the good Lord sees fit to wake me up, after I thank him, I say, all right, Lord, now how can I be a better version of me today than I was yesterday? There was nothing wrong with the Michelle of yesterday, but I want the Michelle for today to be better than I was yesterday. I want each week to be better than the previous week. I want each month to be better than the previous month. I want each year to be better than the previous year. Y'all get where I'm going with this? If you are okay with just staying where you are, you will not grow because you have become stagnant. And if you like it, I love it. As my Aunt Ann always says, if you like it, I love it. But for me, I'm all about growth. And I want it for me, but I also want it for you. Next quote, we may not be perfect people. We may not have perfect situations, but we are still significant nonetheless. And we have been blessed with a rich body of emotions. We aren't like roses or plants or bushes that have life without feelings. We have feelings, and when we use them properly, they are very effective in motivating you towards your destiny. So that quote is by Bishop T.D. Jakes. Love it, love it, love it. Bushes and trees and plants and the shrubbery that you have in your yard, that stuff is living, but it has no feeling. You are living and you have feeling. So why not get out there and let it effectively motivate you toward your destiny? See, you can't get to your destiny if you don't tap into your feelings. Some of you all have a heart for working with the Wounded Warrior Project. I'm not even sure why that popped in my mind, but it did. And so that's why you do that. Some of you have a heart to sit on the board at the Children's Hospital, and that's why you do that. Whatever that thing is that taps into your feelings, that makes you get up and do something, that's what I need you to do. Look for that thing, and I promise you, you will not continue to sit on the sidelines of life doing nothing. This next quote, you have a vision in your head, but are you ready to live the life that matches that vision? Are you ready to connect the dots to what you know is possible and what's available out there for you? I mean, really, think about it. See, here's the other thing. We, we want things, but we have to stop and ask ourselves, okay, I want ABC, but am I truly ready for ABC? Perfect example. Some people want a relationship, but they're not really ready for a relationship because they are still dealing with some issues from the last relationship. So what I tell people is, I get it. When relationships don't work out, sometimes it's a mutual thing, sometimes it's not. You don't want to be by yourself, especially if all your other friends and other people that they're out here, they're in relationships, they're enjoying life, I get that. But instead of you jumping out there into another relationship, what you need to do is get yourself together. Yes, you want a relationship, but are you really ready for a new relationship? Can you truly give yourself completely, I like to air quote, so completely, to this other person? And if the answer is no, then you're not ready. So be careful about what you ask for, because you need to make sure you are truly ready for that thing you're asking for. Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it be. What I love about God is this. You can ask God for whatever it is that you want to, but if God knows that you're not ready for it, guess what? He's not going to give it to you. He's not going to give it to you until you are ready, because what God will not do is allow you to set yourself up for failure. And when you're not ready for something and you try to take it on, that's exactly what you do. Now, you can go out there and get it yourself, but God is not going to bless you with that thing that he knows you are not ready for. So anyway, the quote goes on and he says, you can't just dream about your ideal life. You can't just wish for your ideal life. You can't just Google and download your ideal life. Wouldn't that be nice, right? You can't ask Siri or Alexa for it. You cannot do that. You can't just talk about your ideal life. You have to do some things about it. You have got to do something about it. So it's not thoughts that will create your dream life. It starts there, but it's the action it's the action that gets you there. And that quote is by Lisa Nichols. So you can dream in your head. You can have all these great dreams and all these aspirations and things that you want to do. By all means, please, please, please make sure you're dreaming those things, but you've got to put some action behind it. That's just like saying that you want to get back to your high school weight, whatever that may be. And if you want to do it, that's great. But until you put some action into it, it's not going to work. You're going to continue to be exactly where you are right now. But if you want to lose weight and get healthy, you're going to have to eat healthy. You're going to have to get up and move. You're going to have to do some exercising. I'm not going to necessarily say you have to go to a gym. You can walk the park near your house. Maybe there's some walking trails near your house. Maybe you have equipment in your house. Whatever the case may be, but you've got to physically get moving. And you've got to change the way you eat, because you can go in that gym all day, every day. But if your eating is horrible, honey, you're just wasting your time. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. We're talking about action. Action is what gets things done. Excuse me. Sometimes we have all these great dreams of the way we envision ourselves, our love life, our business life, our work life, whatever that life is. And it only lives up here. It lives up here, and that's it. Because there's no action behind it to try to get you to that next level. If you dreamed about owning your own newspaper and you don't take the action to go out there and start your own newspaper, it's never going to happen. It's going to live up here, but that's about it. That is about it. It is never going to happen, because you've got to put in the work to do your part in order to make it happen. If you want to go on a vacation, that vacation is not just going to happen overnight. No, you've got to figure out where you want to go. Excuse me. And then you got to look up some resorts or hotels, motels, wherever you like to stay, and start making some phone calls to see if there's some vacancy for the dates that you're looking for. So having the idea to want to go on a vacation is great, but you've got to put in the work. It's just like with my family reunion coming up in August. I had to put in the work and call around to get a resort for us to stay at. Just saying, all right, we're going to have a family reunion. That's great, but until some action is put behind what I just said, we ain't going nowhere. Okay? Same thing with if you've decided that you want to save $10,000 by the end of the year, which is possible. You know, you've got to put some action behind that. You can't just say, I want to save $10,000. No, you've got to put some action behind it and start putting that money into your savings, cash envelope, or however it is that you plan on doing it. It's all about the action. Action is what's going to get you from one side of the street to the other side of the street. Otherwise, you're just going to be standing there looking nutty as I don't know what, and people are going to wonder what is wrong with that person that's just standing there. Not realizing they want to get to the other side of the street, but without moving, you can't get there, and you will never get there. Okay, so look at it like that. And so here's your takeaway. Here's your takeaway. Stop living your dreams in your head. Okay? I know it's easy to do. I know it's fun to do sometimes. Sometimes we get caught up putting them on vision boards and writing them in vision books. But you've got to stop living your dreams in your head. You have to take action. You have to take clear, as Lisa Nichols said, you have to take clear, intentional, consistent action. Did you hear what I just said? I didn't say just take action. This is taking action, right? But your action has to be clear. It has to be intentional, and it has to be consistent. Clear, meaning that you know what it is you need to do. Intentional means that you're only going to do the things that's going to get you to whatever that thing is that you're trying to get to. And consistent means that you've got to be doing it on a daily basis. It cannot be, well, I'm going to take action today, but then I won't do anything else until next month, or maybe 2 months from now, or maybe even next year. No. Consistent action means that you have to set a plan, whatever works for you. It might be once a week. It may be 2 days a week. Whatever that action is that you need to take that's going to get you to your goal, that's what you need to be focusing on. Even if it's the wrong things, because you can always fix it and start doing the right things. So in other words, what I'm saying is you need to take clear, intentional, consistent action, even if it's the wrong things, because you can always fix it and start doing the right things. You will make some mistakes along the way, but the more you build evidence that you can do it for yourself, the more confident the more confidence you'll build in yourself. So let me go back and say that one more time. Lisa Nichols, she said, the more you build evidence, I'm saying that you can do it for yourself, the more confidence you'll build in yourself. See, if you don't believe in yourself, why should others believe in you? I ask myself all the time, I said, Michelle, you believe in people that don't believe in themselves. Why do you do that? Well, that's just because that's the way I'm wired. And I believe everybody has the potential to succeed at their goals and their dreams. I truly do believe that. Now, whether we believe it is something different, and whether we're willing to take the actions necessary to make it happen, again, that's something different. But I do believe that we all have the wherewithal, the ability to make our dreams come true. So get in action, stay in action. Keep pushing forward no matter what. Okay? So it's time to win, you guys. It is time to win. And I need you to keep pushing forward no matter what. I get it. You're going to hit some roadblocks. It might be smooth sailing, and all of a sudden a financial situation pops up. And so you've got to put a hold on things. Okay? Put a temporary stop there. Here's the thing. Put a comma. Don't put a period, because a period says the end of the sentence. A period says you're done. Put a comma, because it's just a temporary pause there. And then when you get back on your feet, because I get it, then you keep moving forward. Maybe you're doing everything you need to do, and somehow or another, a roadblock has crept up. And so now you got to figure out, do I go over this thing? Do I go around it? Or what exactly am I going to do? Whatever it is, I need you to make up in your mind that this year you are going to win. And you are going to win by any means necessary. Now, when I say that, let me tell you what I'm not saying. I'm not saying go out here and do something illegal. Please don't do that and come back and say, well, Michelle said. No, Michelle didn't tell you to do that. I'm saying do everything that you can to be successful at whatever it is that you're trying to do. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying don't give up. I'm saying that just because something didn't work out, plan A didn't work out, okay, go to plan B. Plan B doesn't work out, go to plan C. Plan C doesn't work out, go to plan D. You all the way down to the end of that daggone alphabet. You keep going until you have succeeded and you have won at whatever it is that you were trying to do. I believe that you can do it. I know I can. But I believe that you can do it. And I need you to believe it and keep pushing forward no matter what. Listen, you guys, that is my time. Hopefully something that I said resonates with you. I will leave the quotes in the description box. And just, from time to time, make sure you go back and read those quotes that I leave in the description box. I share them with you all because I think they're powerful. And it's something that I believe that is beneficial to you. And I want you to save it and refer to it whenever you feel the need to do so. Okay, so please make sure you do that. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, letting me speak life into you. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much, because y'all know I miss you when I don't get a chance to see you. If you're new, I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And on the off chance that it's something I want to share with y'all, and I do a random video, I'll do that too. Not often, but every now and then I might. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday is my set schedule. Remember, I talked about being consistent. And so make sure you come back and join me on Friday for another motivating conversation. Now, go out there, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. It's getting a little late in the evening. Well, not super late, because it's only 4:55. But it's getting a little late in the evening, so go out there, enjoy the rest of your day on purpose. And make sure that you don't wait till tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's fine too, but I need you today to continue to have that winning mindset. Continue to have that mindset that says, you know what, I'm going to win. And nothing and no one is going to stop me, because I'm going to do what I need to do so that I can win. Do you know, when I think about people like Tyler Perry and others who came from nothing, and now they are millionaires and billionaires, that's awesome. You know what that tells me? That tells me that they decided that they were going to win, and they weren't going to let anything stop them. And they didn't. They did not allow anything to stop them. That's why they are where they are. And guess what? It's not that God loves them anymore and he loves you any less. No, God loves all of us the same. And you can get to where it is that you need to be, but you have to have the winning mindset, and you've got to keep pushing forward no matter what. You've got to get off the sidelines of life, like I talked about earlier, watching everybody else, and start doing what you need to do so that you can get to the goals that you've set for yourself. Y'all know I believe in you. I believe in you 1,000%, and I will never stop believing in you, because I know you can do it. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your day. I love you all to the moon and back. You know the drill, you know the spill. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that you can ever do to change that, because I'm always going to love you no matter what. Until Friday, take care.